What is up there, everybody, and welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to replace a starter on my 06 Acura RSX Type S. Now, my RSX, guys, is taken apart quite a bit. Took the transmission out. I'm going to be rebuilding the transmission. I took the clutch, flywheel, everything out just now, and then it's just laying on the ground right here. Before I start going on showing you guys the starter process, I kind of want to show you guys what happened here. So I blew my clutch, and then my clutch, one of the middles that holds up the springs for the clutch, that holds up on the side here, literally exploded, and this thing goes flying inside all over the transmission case housing here. That wasn't good. And then, you know what, if I'm gonna drop the transmission and have to replace the clutch, might as well rebuild the transmission within Spoon LSD. So that's coming up soon. Stay tuned on that. And today's video, I am going to be showing you guys how to replace a starter on a 06 Acura RSX Type S, but a little bit different ways. So what a lot of people do on these, well, on mine, I took the transmission out. So there's two ways to do it. If you already took the transmission out, then it is a pretty easy access because you did take the subframe out and all that. The subframe is just chilling over here. Now, one way to do it, if you don't want to do all that work and mess and all that, but let's say you took the transmission out to do a clutch, like my situation right now, you could just get underneath. I'll show you guys real quick. Get underneath and literally have plenty of room to reach in and out. So it is pretty convenient in that case. But let's say you only have the starter issue and you're not in my situation. Now, one way to do this is remove the intake manifold and, throttle body, the intake, the whole 9 yard. You have to do all that. But today, unfortunately, I'm not going to be showing you guys because I don't really need to do that to, reach in to replace the starter. Sometime, that's just the easy way because I already took the transmission and clutch out and then subframe out, which that's probably the biggest thing. If subframe is in the way in the front part right here, then it's a lot harder to access. But since that I don't have the subframe in front of it here, that going across literally right along here, I don't have that going on, I think I could manage to take that starter out. So let's do that. Now, before I remove the starter, I'm going to use a 12mm socket to take this bolt out. Kind of hard to because of shadow, sorry guys. I don't even know what this thing is, just supporting this intake manifold up here. So there's two 12mm bolts. Sorry, it's kind of keep blaring out because it's too dark, but right there. Come on, focus, god damn it. It's a lot harder to show on camera. So the first 12mm is right there. The second 12mm is up there. Come on, show it. But I can't really zoom in, but if you kind of follow this bar right here all the way up, you'll see that 12mm bolt. Sorry guys. You know what? I can get this out. That one was probably the hardest part to do it out of all because you do not want to drop it instead of in here to the fan. That will be a problem. So I guess this is called like a retaining bracket or something like that. This part, well, I guess I'll just call it the bracket. I don't even know what's the actual name for it, so I'm just gonna call this is the bracket. All right, that is out. So this is the bracket I was talking about. Two 12mm bolts, one in the bottom, one on the top. Now on the other side of the transmission side too, there's the same exact bracket, but the difference is this one does have the hole. I guess they're trying to make it cheaper when they were, coming out with this design. There's a third bolt right here in the middle. So that one is really pain in the ass to access to. You don't have to worry about that. I mean, when you take out the transmission, you do have to worry about this. If you guys want to see how to take the transmission out and do the clutch, I'll leave the video literally up here, I think somewhere up here. So I'll leave that link right up there, so check it out. All right guys, so I already took this 14mm bolt out for the starter, and then on the other side of it there's a long 14mm bolt, and I'm gonna try to take that out. It looks like my wrenches and everything will fit. There's enough wriggle room from underneath here, so I'm gonna try it. Alright, so it's a lot harder to film it while I'm doing this, but once I take the starter out, I can explain it to you guys how I pretty much did it. So, alright, I got it loose. Alright, so I got that bolt out that was right behind the starter. I was already fighting it. After I got it loose with the wrench, with the 14mm, I pretty much hand loosened it and then just slowly worked my way out and it came out. So next step, take the starter out. And once you're taking this out, I think there's another like a bolt that you have to take out for the ground, if I'm correct. I am gonna take this 12mm bolt out that's right here. The nut back on, and then this wire right here. Use a needle nose plier to pull this wiring section out. And then out. And then that's how you take out a starter motor from underneath of your RSX. So this is pretty straightforward. Two 14mm bolts. So this side goes into the transmission side, which I already took that out. It's laying somewhere over there. And then this side was this long bolt right here that was in it. And then it sticks out so you can take it out, which is pretty nice design. And this 12mm bolt for the ground wiring, and then another ground wire right here for the starter motor. So yeah, just take all those out and then boom 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 and put everything back in together. Alright guys, so I got a brand new starter motor. This is brand spanking new. This is not even rebuilt or nothing. Everything on this piece is solid, brand new. Cost me around 188 bucks. My buddy Stefan over at Race Centric, he hit me up with this. Denso all OEM, guys. This is beautiful, man. So everything is brand new on this, because a lot of people, what they do, if you take it to O'Reilly AutoZone, they give you the rebuilt one, and that's not really the only option they can give you with. But everything is brand spanking new on this. It's really nice. So I'm gonna take that off, the 12mm bolt, and then that ground wire, just plug it back in, and then put everything back together. That way it came out. Tighten down that 12mm bolt down. Nice and snug. That's probably good enough. Yep. You don't need to go aga-daga on that at all. Just nice and snug. Alright. After I'm done with that, put the ground wire back on. Just slide in. Put the cover back on. And if the boot doesn't want to go back in all the way, use like a little flathead. Alright, so this boot right here for this ground wire, the boot didn't want to go around, so I had to loosen this with a 12mm bolt right there, as you can see, for this ground wire right there. So now I'll put everything back in, and this is probably going to be the trickiest part out of all. So a little bit of moving around that starter's in there. Now the hardest part is literally, where did that go? Oh my god, I'm already losing shit. Aha! Now put this shaft. So this is 14mm, and then this is going to be probably the hardest part, getting it on there. I am going to make sure this is all lined up. Alright guys, so I know that 14mm bolt is really hard to get it in, if you're especially like working from underneath. So what I did is, before you put the starter all the way in, kind of halfway in, kind of hanging down, put that 14mm long bolt in through that hole, and then kind of like put it in together. And that's what I exactly did, and boom, first try I threaded in. I literally threaded in first try. So it might take you a couple try, but man, that's how you do it. So next step is tightening that 14mm bolt down. My god, I did it. I cannot believe myself I did it. Literally the first thing I said was, man, I'm genius. And I'm not smart. So this is great. So yeah, that back there, I got the little wrench in. Just kind of slowly tightening it down, like just like that. Whew. Well guys, I got the starter in. That's the starter teeth. This is that bolt that I was fighting to get it in and out. Just a 14mm. And then it is pretty much flush. I hand tighten it, and that's the furthest it can go with the hand tight. So I don't want to muscle it up and break it or anything. So yeah, put the sensor back in next to the starter motor, which is green because that's connected to the starter wire and all that. So put that back in. Then after that, put this little bracket guy back in, two 12mm bolts, and then that's it. Alright guys, so the bracket is back in right there. Both 2mm bolts are back in. Everything is back in except for this 1V bolt that goes through the transmission for the starter motor. So I'm going to leave that open because I have my transmission dropped. Well, anyways guys, that'll pretty much wrap up for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and this video was helpful to how to install a starter motor on my 2006 Acura RSX Type S, my baby Jade, guys. So yeah, this time I did it a little bit differently from a bunch of other people, how they've been doing it, because other people will take off this intake manifold off and then remove it and access the starter motor, which is, yes, it is a lot easier to do it. But since I do have my transmission out and my subframe out, which is right here, I thought it'll, you know, if I will have a chance to take the starter motor from underneath, which it worked. So just wanted to kind of show you guys that, hey, there's a way to do it from underneath too and all that, because I don't think there's a video out there, a single video out there, I don't think I've ever seen it, people doing it from underneath while you have your transmission and subframe out, you know, and all that. So if you're doing a clutch on your vehicle, on your RSX, took the tranny out, perfect time to do a starter. If you have your subframe loose or out, you know, this is your perfect time to do a starter. So yeah, but again guys, I hope this video was really helpful. If it was, please give me a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and make sure you guys go follow me on Instagram. That's jdm.dennis. So yeah, but other than that guys, peace out and stay thirsty, my friends.